From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day New York.
Okay, thanks so much, Inez. So yesterday, we were covering all morning long the steam pipe explosion. If you watched, it was a massive plume of white smoke, 10 stories into the air. And what we later found out, it was spewing asbestos, contaminated debris onto the streets and nearby buildings.
And of course, now that's raising some major health concerns for people who live and work near that area. The blast. Joining us now this morning, we have Meegan Taddonio. She is an asbestos expert with RTK Environmental Group. Meegan, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
How concerned should people be who live and work in that area right now? We've heard them, they have to bag their clothing and to get, they've been evacuated. What's the concern?
The concern would be the indoor spaces. From my perspective, the asbestos that was airborne when the explosion happened could have wound up in HVAC systems, as they've been saying, and that can be inside the building. So there are ways that can get dispersed, of course, through ductwork, and the fibers are so fine and small that would be a concern.
So you can't see these fibers, right?
No, they're very small and very
So if you went into your office and you didn't see anything on your desk, no dust covering it, and you think, okay, all's good, it's not?
It would be a time to test the air just to make sure. And you also may see some dust and debris that you didn't see before this happened. And we can also characterize the dust for other materials as well as asbestos.
And we've been also talking about if the exposure, you may not have immediate symptoms, but down the road, you could possibly from this.
Sure, yes. There are health impacts that can take a long time to develop.
So what's involved really with the cleanup going on in the building, and at the same time, what should folks be doing?
I think at this point, once folks get back inside their homes and workplaces, they should assess, and if they're uncomfortable, they should do testing. And it would be advised to have an independent testing company that's licensed help with that. And in terms of the cleanup, that's something that is something that can be resolved. So the cleanup is possible.
So Meegan, if these symptoms, or any kind of illness, if it happens, doesn't really occur for years later, what do you do to protect yourself in the meantime? So is there anything you can do?
I think it's always good to talk to your doctor. I'm an environmental testing professional. I'm not a doctor, so I think that's a very...
But get on the record.
Yes, document, yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm also wondering, for folks that were just living in the area anyway, was there already some exposure, or did it have to take the actual explosion to sort of whatever was dormant to bring it up?
Usually with asbestos, if it's contained, it wouldn't be an immediate risk to somebody. It's when something like this occurs and it's disturbed at, of course, such a drastic degree.
So have you done any work in this area? Are you going to be doing any work in this area?
We have been busy yesterday due to the event.
So what are your concerns? Because your people are in there, right, cleaning stuff up. How do you do it?
So we're not cleaning, we do the testing, but there are professional companies that would come in and clean the areas.
And they are from head to toe, I guess, covered, masks, that kind of thing?
Absolutely, yeah. The full body suits, they wear the respirator masks, and it's
So have you gone from building to building? How do you do the testing? Is it just outside in the open air, or are you going building to building?
So the city is doing, I think, a great job with the outdoor testing and getting that data. We would do testing in your home or your apartment, your workplace, and we would send our professionals there.
And how fast do you get a reading on what's actually there?
It can actually be as fast as 6 to 12 hours. So we can really turn things around quickly.
All right, if somebody's watching right now, give them a tip right now so they know what to do next, because I guess some of these people have not been allowed back in their homes and may not be back allowed in their business.
My tip, my advice is to, when you're back in the space, when you're back in the workplace or home, is to look around and see if you see dust. And even if you don't, just to remember that there could be airborne fibers or debris that you would want to have testing done to determine.
The other concern, Ro and Meegan, was there's a lot of pets in these different buildings, and some of the owners couldn't even get in to get their pets. So now they've been exposed to it as well. Do you have cases like that? I mean, what does a pet owner do in that kind of case?
That's a hard one. Again, I would defer to a vet, but I'm an animal lover myself, and that's a tough one. So I would defer to a vet.
All right, Meegan. Well, thank you so much. With RTK Environmental Group, we appreciate you coming on and sharing your expertise with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Meegan.